What's going on, guys? How you doing? TK coming at you, and I just want to hit you guys with a little bit of unique perspective, because nobody seems to think like me, and I definitely don't like to be in the box, in the clique, a part of cliques, a part of circles. So to be independent, critically thinking, and able to analyze all information, be eclectic in your information sources, and then make free decisions based on that information so that you can have some sort of knowledge base. I want to hit you guys with what's common right now. Everybody's talking about what's trending, right? The trending events tend to dominate conversations, and conversations tend to go wherever the telelive vision tells you to think. So the first thing we need to do is turn off the broadcast media in terms of their advanced psychological warfare and frequency programming or mindset programming, because there's a common wavelength that people tend to operate on. I always talk about our founding educational system, or our foundation within the educational system, gives us this desire to be a part of a clique and to unify within common thinking, where nothing about our school system teaches you how to critically analyze information and use your mind as an individual when it comes to processing. Okay, so the media propagates that common wavelength following, and usually it's what they want you to think, and that's what gets put out. Okay, so if you talk to the average person, the narrative that you hear from a lot of conversations is that Mayberry exists, that we live in the 1950s, and America's foundation is still truly based in a honest democratic process, when the truth and the more reflective side of our society today sort of portrays the changes that have taken place that evolved us to more of a some people would call it a plutocracy, but realistically we have a fascist system in which corporations, leading the way, the corporation of the United States, but corporations tend to dictate, control, and issuance of influence through, of course, money. So their interests, their control, and also their way is what gets pushed on everyone else. Okay, and we've seen that sort of erosion happen over time, and a lot of people, I think, just don't acknowledge the fact that corporate interests sort of lead the way when it comes to policy. Okay, and also when it comes to justice. If you label justice as a system and the outcome being what you manipulate. Okay, so that is the primary problem with the fiat monetary system. You're able to use the facade of democracy to influence people through money to sway towards corporate interests. And of course, the corporate interests only benefit the 1% top of the pyramid within this pyramidal architectural structure that we all exist within. Now, it's funny because some people believe the lie that within a pyramidal structure you have to have, that's the thought process. We are in a monetary pyramidal structure where everything is top up. Okay, all of the money and the power is at the top, and then you have the base of the pyramid. So within that architecture, of course, the thought process is you have to have a base to stand on, in order to support the top of the pyramid. Okay, and everyone within fascistic capitalism, where money drives the top and supports the top, everyone believes that. I have to stand on your neck in order to support my opulence. And my opulence is ordained through the man-made religion that I created and justifies. So the pyramid would fall apart if I'm not standing on your base, i.e. your neck. And through education, okay, and through corporate America, people subscribe to that same mentality within capitalism. They say, all I want to do is be successful within this system, so what are the tenets of the system that I have to adhere to in order to get to the top of the pyramid? Okay, so people sell their soul, they dictate their morals based on what they can concede in order to get to the top of this pyramid. And that's our entire monetary system. That's our entire civilization right now. But some people say, well, there's nothing else. So we have to concede to success within the pyramid, okay? But the problem with a pyramidal system is, in that architecture, you have to concede in order to move up to the top. And there is no place based on a top-up system where you're standing on a pyramidal base. There is no place unless you concede and, of course, have someone else move down. And we see this continuously throughout our society and people in their decision-making and, of course, in their belief systems. But I don't subscribe to a top-up negative pyramidal system of control, because inequality should never be justified through a man-made system of control, i.e. religion. So there is an alternative to fiat capitalism. I believe one of the leaders within cryptocurrency, and that's the solution and the answer to fiat. But as I introduced that to you, I believe one of the pioneers within this business or this industry said that cryptocurrency is like a hole in the dam of fiat Ponzi. And what it does is it allows a little bit of water to flow through the dam, and as that water leaks out, it gives certain people the opportunity to drink. So that is what I equate one system to another. And I know a lot of people are not very good with analogies, and school teaches you 7 subjects, 7 teachers, and nothing's interrelated, when the true nature of how things work within advanced spirituality and positivity, nature is interrelated. Everything is a stair step, and everything runs in 360 degrees, where one thing is interconnected to another thing. So, of course, the failure mindset is implanted, and the tools you're given are all ineffective. So you're not going to acknowledge that. You're not going to acknowledge that you've been lied to from the onset, and the purpose of the Matrix is to give you failure tools. You have a tool belt, but your tool belt is full of broken tools, and you're expected to basically deal with the broken tools that are in your belt, and you're looked at as if you're not even going to be smart enough to wake up and realize you have broken tools. Okay, so what I propose and what I've said as the answer to a pyramidal system is a unilevel system where consensus happens, and any one person is just as much opportunity as any other person. And that's the reality of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a unilevel architecture where consensus happens within a exchange system. So it was postulated in a white paper that people can exchange money between parties without a central authority. And that has proven itself through Bitcoin and through cryptocurrency, and it is the counterparty or the hole in the dam to fiat monetary. So within a consensus system, you have the opportunity to, one, transmit without fees. Two, it decentralizes the monetary control and puts it in the hands of each individual participant. So now you have the fiscal responsibility of your future and you control your assets, which is completely opposite of what we have within the pyramidal system of Ponzi within fractional reserve banking. So make a decision, educate yourself, and participate in personal financial control. Because the truth is, Ponzi is falling. Ponzi only succeeds when you have willing participants, and a lot of the world participants are stepping out of the US dollar. And as that happens, it's going to cause things to cost more, to use everyday common language. And then when things cost more, you find yourself struggling because you don't make more, which means that you have to utilize something else to put an edge in your personal finances so that you're not struggling. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to struggle? Do you want to continue to let things get worse? Or do you actually want to do something, control something, and make a difference for you, your family, and your future? Because that's all this is about. Everything I just talked about is a epilogue that leads to a decision. And that decision is individual. And that's why consensus works best, because it's an individual decision where you control your money within an individual wallet and you decide how you're going to succeed and how you're going to go forward in the future. So I'm just putting the information out there and suggesting that you don't wait till the dollar continues to lose value based on the fiscal irresponsibility of the government, that you realize that we're being pushed in a corporate control environment where the government tells you everything, and you just step back and you just start making some individual critical thinking decisions for your future. And utilizing a consensus network is one of those opportunities to step into a better financial future, because the internet of money has been created and can't be uncreated. So you can't get rid of cryptocurrency. You can't get rid of Bitcoin. The best thing you can do is position yourself to use it so that you have an alternate means to pay outside of the US dollar, and that you're able to still participate in society with a form of decentralized peer-to-peer money, a secure online payment system that still allows you to eat, that still allows you to be successful in this pay-to-live society. You have to pay for everything except air. Even death costs you money. So position yourself and make decisions that allow you to make more efficient uses of money. And that's what I'm calling cryptocurrency. That's what I'm calling the hole in the dam of fiat. Secure online internet payments, or secure consensus network that is Bitcoin, allows you to make different choices. It's kind of like having 7 different credit cards in your wallet, except one is a credit card, which is plastic money. One is cash, which is a dying liability. One is cryptocurrency, which is an online version of secure money. One is gold and silver, which is, if you do it through Swiss, you can have it liquid. And that's a separate conversation, but gold and silver connected through a system allows you to have another alternate means to pay. So it's different forms of assets outside of US dollars and cash that still allow you to be financially successful in this pay-to-live world. And the diversification side of having just more than paper liabilities is the only thing I'm talking about. In essence, I'm talking about diversifying outside of the US dollar and adding some sort of financial insurance to your life. Okay, people have insurance on everything except their finances. The best thing you can do and the best decision you can make is to include financial insurance in your portfolio. Gold, silver, cryptocurrency.